Welcome to this energy efficiency presentation prepared by Grid 2020. Grid 2020's patented intragrid sensor solution now provides utility operators throughout the U.S. and abroad with clear vision into the heart of distribution grids. For the purposes of this energy efficiency message, we will use the simple analogy of a bathtub. As the spigot represents the entry point of water, likewise, substations represent the entry point of electricity into the grid. The tub itself is representative of the distribution grid, which is typically comprised of power lines, power poles, and transformers. In the case of a tub, the drain is the point of exit for water. Likewise, endpoint meters represent the exit point of electricity from the grid. For the last several years, ratepayers in the United States have been encouraged to install LED bulbs and smart thermostats for the purpose of lowering rates, lessening peak demand, and reducing carbon footprint by decreasing power generation. Similarly, renewables such as solar rooftop and wind have been encouraged and even incentivized to help ratepayers lower their power costs, reduce demand, and increase conservation efforts. Electric vehicles have also been encouraged and even incentivized to lessen carbon footprint, although EV charging stations present an added, unplanned load within the electricity grid. And smart meters have been deployed to further improve efficiencies and benefit ratepayers. Collectively, this series of grid edge investment and effort has sought to make us more energy efficient. Undoubtedly, we are achieving positive gains, but we still have a serious problem. If electricity were visible like water, each of us would be able to see many leaks occurring within our distribution grid if we simply walked out our front door or drove down the road. However, since electricity is invisible, we are blind to the significant leaks occurring within our grid. The U.S. Energy Information Administration reports that in 2014, U.S. distribution loss equaled nearly $20.8 billion. That means that approximately 199.1 billion kilowatt hours were generated, distributed, but never metered. Yet this $20.8 billion of loss was passed on to ratepayers. This financial burden occurs annually, and ratepayers subsidize the cost. The real problem we face is actually energy inefficiency, and the inefficiency is dominated by loss occurring inside the grid. In essence, all of the valuable time, energy, and money we have invested at the grid edge is being substantially offset by significant intragrid loss. The U.S. distribution grid is comprised of approximately 6.3 million line miles and approximately 40 million transformers managed by utilities, which represents the most dynamic, most vulnerable, and most volatile segment of the entire distribution grid. Fortunately, with every real problem stems real opportunity. Throughout our electricity grid history, utility operators have been literally blind to intragrid conditions. This reality has forced operators to be reactionary to grid issues and unaware of ongoing intragrid conditions that can be very costly or very damaging to our grid stability. But with the recent development of cost-effective intragrid sensors, utility operators now have clear vision into the heart of the distribution grid for the very first time. The real solution to achieving critical intragrid vision is Grid 2020. We empower utilities to proactively identify problems and optimize energy efficiency. Grid 2020's time-tested, patented sensors are designed for single-phase and polyphase transformers and are designed for both pole and pad mount applications. This one solution, intragrid sensors, being deployed throughout the heart of the grid on transformers, now drives a growing list of critical value propositions for utilities, including an automated alert system capable of notifying operators of undesirable, costly intragrid conditions, Grid 2020's cost-effective intragrid sensors enable utilities to lessen operating expenses, improve capital expense investment returns, identify grid instability and safety concerns created by renewables like solar and wind, reduce power outages, and improve power delivery, quality, and consistency for ratepayers. And very importantly, Grid 2020's solution also helps to locate the costly power leaks occurring within our grid so that ratepayers no longer have to bear the financial burden of subsidizing this unnecessary loss. Grid 2020 changes the grid management paradigm from its historic costly reactionary approach to a much-needed cost-efficient, energy-efficient, proactive approach. The patented Optinode intragrid sensors provide unique, timely, accurate, granular information in the palm of utility operators' hands. Grid 2020 now provides U.S. grid operators with the ability to save money, safely embrace renewable energy resources, extend asset lifespan, reduce unplanned outages, and create genuine energy efficiency improvements for America's ratepayers. We look forward to speaking with you to discuss how Grid 2020 can help to address your grid management challenges and needs. Please visit us at www.grid2020.com. Thank you.